yourselves better.
Okay.
Wondering if we're live.
Yeah, we're live. What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back. Episode 52 of the Dynamic Duo podcast. And if you're not familiar with this podcast, this is a father and daughter podcast where we have some chats. We usually talk about self-improvement. We review some books. We ask each other some questions, have a tea time topic, a dynamic discussion.
Tea time topic. And we read a book. And today's is this one.
Yep, we're still going to be continuing the review of the 10X Kids book. And but for those of you who don't know who we are, my name is Ben.
And my name is Mahlia.
So welcome. So let's get right into this. First of all, before we get started, Mahlia, why don't you tell these fine folks where they can find us?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube.
All right, so go to one of those platforms, give us a like, a follow, subscribe, share it. We appreciate all that love that you send our way and any kind of reciprocation you help with our pages. So, but yeah, let's just get right to this here. I want to start with, so we're going to review, I'm going to here in a second ask like what we did for the week, you know. We're going to talk about what we're going to review, but first, I want to ask a question. You're going to ask me a question. We'll do a question for question. And I want to ask
mine, but I think I might remember it. Hopefully I do.
Okay. So my question for you is, what did you learn either today or from last Sunday? What's one thing you can tell me that you learned?
From church?
From anywhere. It could be church. It could be school. It could be here.
You meant last Sunday.
Yeah, what'd you learn? What's one thing you can tell me that you learned in the last week?
Oh, I thought you meant Sunday, that Sunday or that Sunday. I'm like, I didn't go to school that day. But, I learned a little bit more math.
Learned a little bit more math?
Yeah, like on a number line.
Right on.
You'll here. I'll show you, because I can't do it right now, but I'll show you after the podcast what I mean on the paper.
Yeah.
Because it's harder to show on this.
I think I know what you mean, but the people listening might...
Do a number line and like have the number, so say I have 152 and my minus 21. So what she means is you could break it into a 10 and a 10 for the 2. That would be minus, what is it?
52.
152. 152. So minus the 10 would be 132.
Mm-hmm.
So now, what minus 1?
Mm-hmm.
And the number would be 331.
131, but I knew what you meant. Yeah, no, that's a good job. That's a good job. No, that's a great skill.
Yeah, breaking up the numbers and to get to, I forgot what it was called. Everybody forgets it in my class.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple people could remember.
That's what I was trying to teach you how to do.
Get to that, that bridge number.
Oh, is that what it's called?
I think. I can't remember.
It's all right. I know what you're talking about, though.
I'll
but
bring
that's
it up next podcast if I remember it.
Well, cool. I'm glad you learned something valuable. It is a quick way to kind of divide numbers and add numbers and figure stuff out when you're kind of sectioning off parts of the numbers instead of getting all overwhelmed. Breaking it up definitely helps, huh?
Because my friend Mylan, he got overwhelmed about it. 'Cause we haven't done this before, so it's harder for us. So we're like, I don't know what to do. But on the first time we did it, I got all 3 math equations right. And Jeremy and all my friends are like, what is wrong? I can't figure this out. And I'm like, you just gotta listen a little bit more. Maybe pay attention.
Yeah, maybe stay on track, which I'll be talking about here in a little bit. That's funny. Well, I'm glad you picked up something. Like I said, I've tried teaching you that in my own way, but it sounds like the way the teacher is teaching it to you is resonating a little bit more with you. So.
Yeah, because if somebody
that.
will ask a question, like, how do I do it? So it breaks us down. Because now we're like, okay, now, even though we don't even know that question, the people that know it, and now we're like, okay, now I know.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know that this is an easier way to do it, instead of the way that my other friends are overwhelming.
Yeah. Well, good. Very good. So what, you got a question for me?
I forgot it, but I can try to remember it.
Yeah, it can be any question.
It was about church. Something that church would say.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. What has God made, what have you done bad and God has helped you make it better?
What have I done bad?
Like maybe at a job.
That God has made better.
Like a job.
There's a lot of different scenarios I'm trying to think of.
Just pick up one that was recently or maybe a couple years ago.
Well,
one that comes to the top of your head.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of one, like some of the most impactful things. And let's just
if I knew one, I would give you an example.
Yeah.
But I don't really know what that. I kind of know what that means.
So what is one thing that was bad that ended up being better that God provided for me? That's a great question. I would say when I quit my job and I started my own business.
Oh, for precision patio covers?
No, for the other business. So
new business?
No, are you gonna let me speak? It'll make sense if you just let me talk.
I'm asking a question though.
You can ask a question when
question for question.
Right. Let me answer the question, then you can.
Why do you think the discussion is called like tea time topic TTT?
Right.
Like that. Like
well, question for question means you ask a question, I answer it.
But it's about questions. It's about questions.
Okay.
So we should ask questions.
Good point. Corrector. All right, but I would use this as an example. So I quit my job that I had for 10 years, and it was super scary. I started my own business with a business partner. It didn't work out. I did that for 2 years, ended up quitting that business and walking away, and I had to start all the way over, and I didn't know what I was going to do. Super scary. Didn't have a plan in place. Ended up starting my newer business, and it's been working. It's been going well. And not only have I been able to keep this business going and making some success with it, but I've also started a coaching business now. So now I have 2 businesses that are going good, and I'm very thankful for that because like I said, and still during this whole process, there's times that it would seem bad, I guess, because that was your question. So it will seem like it'll seem stressful, it'll seem discouraging at times, but it always works out, and things always, I can tell that God has provided me with solutions and opportunities no matter what happens. So I don't know if that answered your question.
Oh, the place that we had a house, and then her was over there.
Yeah.
The ones that she had.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to tell her name.
Yeah.
Because then it seems like I'm talking bad about her.
Yeah.
But the place where she had nice marbles that I liked, there was big marbles and there was big rocks. Like
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that. She had a really, really pretty garden.
That's funny you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A place that you had to make all of that, and then when Mom would come over, and we found those eagles.
Yeah.
And the sheep.
Was there a sheep there?
There were sheep right next to you.
There was?
There was sheep right next to the gate.
Oh, you're right.
It was right down there, down the hill.
That's right. I totally forgot about that.
Nobody had property there. I think it was both of yours.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
That was both of your property, but you never used it. So you just let people do it. So they would put their goats down there. I think there was a farm way down there.
I think there was, yeah. A small farm, but yeah.
Oh.
Well, very good, very good. So let's review the week real quick. We'll talk about how our week went, and then me and you will...
Can I tell you what I learned at our church really quick?
Yeah, tell me what you learned at church. Tell me about your week.
Now
I'm going to
that I
pour our
remember.
tea while we're doing
Okay,
that.
I almost thought, imagine if I did this. And I drank the sugar.
So how was your week?
Good. I played some games with you last night. We watched Polar Express. We fell asleep.
Did we? Oh, we did. I guess you're right.
And then the movie played over again, I think.
Maybe.
But I think that's the part that
I don't know. I was tired.
I felt like I slept for about half an hour.
Really?
Yeah. Got a little cupcakes over here. But what I remember, you asked me a question, so I'm gonna answer your question.
All right.
So like, you know how people will have a bridge?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not a bridge, like a rock wall, like in Trollberg,
Yes.
like on the movie Hilda.
Yeah.
And one of the staffs, I'll just use hers because it's easier for me. Say she went 40 days, no chocolate.
Okay.
And she made a commitment to doing that. And then one day she's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna have one piece." But then, what? You're not gonna just eat one piece.
It's tough, yeah. If you like it.
It's self-controlling you, and what happens when you lose control?
You don't make good choices.
No, for like the chocolate. Oh, I'm just gonna eat more. Just gonna eat one more.
You eat more.
What happens what happens?
You get compulsive and you keep eating more.
No, what happens? Oh.
You get tummy ache.
and then she had baking soda and then thickener, so you know how it will burst up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she used that. So she just did a little bit. Oh, just one more. Got half. Oh, just one more. And then it went all the way past the cup and it went into the other bowl. And then now she's like, now I have a tummy ache. That you lose self-control.
Yeah.
And it's just like a bridge. Oh my God, a brick wall. Say it's right to here, nobody can get in.
Right.
But what happens if one breaks? It will be better. It will still be fine because it's really, really strong.
Right. It's just when there's a bunch missing.
But then a couple more get broke down.
Then it gets weak.
And now there's no safety and shelter.
Right.
And then everybody has to run for their lives. But nobody wants to think about that, so let's not think about that.
Let's not think about that,
No, hopefully that never happens here.
Yeah, so So you had a good week though.
Yeah. So do you get what I mean by that?
I understand.
Self-control was the thing today, and then
Okay.
pajama and stereo size for Lacey.
Right. Well, self-control and basically having some regulation is definitely a good thing to practice. Discipline. Remember you asked him what discipline meant? Discipline is self-control.
I know a discipline. There's 2 disciplines, isn't there?
No.
Discipline means like, to me, because that you can have it another way, I think. Like if you're disciplining a kid.
Yeah.
Like if they did something bad and they told you not, and you told them not to eat chocolate, and they say you eat chocolate, that's just the worst.
We'll make that one of the words. Discipline. Yeah, we're gonna look up one of the words of the day is gonna be discipline.
Could I say what I think it means on that time?
Sure.
Because I don't want to say it right now.
Because I don't want to give the wrong. It's always fun to just read the actual.
You'll give here. It's gonna be like a question for question. We'll do that on this because I'll ask you what do you think discipline means, and then you'll do it.
Okay.
Because that's like a question for question, but it's not that time.
Yeah.
The word of the day.
All right. Well, we're going to let's see here. I think what we'll do
What
is.
What kind of tea is this?
The tea is. How about we talk about?
Which one? No.
It's Evening in Missoula is the name of it. It's really good. Yeah. Let's talk about dynamic the dynamic discussion for today. Okay. This is what we learned in church today in our.
I already said what I learned.
I know, but we learned something different. Or it's not what we learned. It was the topic of the day, and.
Oh, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant me. I'm like, I already did mine.
Yeah. So this is important because, especially with what we're doing. So this is talking about, the topic is staying on track. Excuse me.
Do you know what that means?
Huh?
Can we do that one too?
Yeah, we're talking about it right now.
No.
What's that?
Like disciplined. Do it on the word of the day.
Sure.
So we can look up and see what it actually means.
Yeah.
What it says in the Bible.
So staying on track is very important. It's a really good topic for us today, and especially with like the New Year's coming up.
New Year's coming up.
Or excuse me, the new year beginning, I guess.
Yep.
With the new year coming around, everybody's got their resolutions and these things that they got in their head that they want to start doing, and they want to.
Like you want to eat less chocolate.
Sure, yeah, they want to eat less chocolate. I want to get in shape. I want to find a job. I want to keep my job. I want to get a raise. I want to have a baby. I want to get married. I want to take a trip. You name it. Like everybody has their own thing, right? Somewhere along the way of this path of all these things that we want to accomplish, we get derailed and we get distracted and we lose sight. We get off course and we start basically adding time to our goals that we set, and we lose focus. That's the main thing. Everybody does it, by the way. And so there's ways to kind of make sure that you stay on track, you know.
Mistakes?
Huh?
Like mistakes?
Mistake can be a way to get off track for sure.
No, like everybody does it. Everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah, everybody makes mistakes.
Like
everybody gets distracted.
Everybody gets in trouble sometimes.
Yeah, and so you know, when we were talking about it today, we're kind of thinking of it as basically being a train track with light at the end of the tunnel. Right? So there's like a goal we're going after. There's like something that we're doing it for. There's a reason for it. There's a purpose.
Gold?
Huh?
Like say there's gold.
I'm talking about more of a personal thing. Like, okay, if I accomplish this, it's going to feel good. Or if I accomplish this, I'm going to be able to do this with my life, or it's, whatever.
You want to get it, you make your own job?
Whatever it is. I used examples a second ago. So whatever it is, it's different for everybody. But the whole idea of it is basically staying on a track. And it's easy to get distracted and derailed and get off course because life throws things at you. And not only does it throw distractions and things at you, but your life can be stressful. You can be stressed about money. You can be stressed about relationships. You can be stressed about, whatever, school, your work. There's a lot of things that come into play that can make life seem discouraging. And, there's a lot of injustices, things that will happen to you for no reason. You're like, why is this happening to me? I don't deserve it. So there's ways to easily get discouraged, but if you really focus on what you're doing and why you were doing it, the purpose, what it's going to do for you, how it's going to feel, it's going to help you stay on course. And so that was the topic of today. And so I think staying on track is a very, very positive message, because we can easily, like I said, get off track, and it's harder.
Like me.
It's hard
I just got distracted.
Yeah, you get distracted all the time.
I know. I was gonna say it is really, really easy for God to get you distracted, because then you learn something new every day, basically. So you're like, ooh, I want to go check this out. And imagine if somebody's talking, you're like, oh, and then later on they're like, hey, you did that to me, and then you're like, oh, now you feel bad, and now you're like, oh, why did I do that?
Yeah. So exactly, it's
Don't nice and wise because there's sugar in this way, so I have to do it.
Yeah. Why you have to stir it?
Yeah, that's why I'm putting it on the bottom, because it crushes it and it gets it in there.
Well,
and I was making noise, so I was waiting for you to be done.
Well, it should melt by now. So, what's your thoughts on that? On staying on track? Do you have a hard time staying on track? Do you understand what that means?
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah. What kinds of things distract you?
New things.
New things?
Like, I'm young. I'm only 9. I have a lot to learn.
What's one of your goals?
To stay on track and try not to ignore people.
No, that's a good goal. But like, what's a bigger goal that you want to accomplish? Like,
Try not being shy.
Do you want to? Okay, that's a great goal. Okay.
I've been doing that every year since you got into the 10X.
Yeah, so trying not to be...
We've been doing that every day, basically.
Yeah, and that's a great goal, by the way. Trying not to be shy. So do you have things in your head that you know you need to be doing to help you not be shy?
Just do it.
Just do it? Like what? Like, is there some things that you're doing specifically that are going to help you not get shy anymore? Like, are you going to parties? Are you talking to people on the phone more? Are you...
Talking on a podcast.
There's one way, absolutely.
Like a 15-minute, a 10-minute, what I mean, because I'm not afraid to do this. I remember the first time that Danny helped us get this ready, and I was so nervous, remember?
I don't remember, no.
But it was the day that you just got this.
Really?
Yeah. And then a few months later you got that, and then a year later you got that, and then we got all of this. And now I'm like, well, this isn't scary, this is actually fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like
what other
Scarlett
things
said.
What other things? Yeah. What did Scarlett say?
I just used her example because it is fun. It's fun. It's not scary.
Oh yeah.
But it's scary. It's always scary in the beginning. You're like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? I bet Scarlett and Sabrina were probably really, really scared.
Yeah.
They're like, what am I gonna say? I need to know what to do.
And honestly, some people still get nervous. I mean, I've heard
Sometimes,
Grant Cardone say that he gets nervous when he does public speaking. He's done it thousands of times.
I know, but sometimes if you say Grant Cardone didn't do it for a long time, I bet he would probably be scared for the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Until he gets used to it again. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like if you don't do it enough, you're gonna go like, this is scary now. Why did I even say that? I gotta get that out of my head. And now, later, people are like, you gotta get out there. And they're like, no, I'm not gonna listen to that anymore. And you're like, but you're famous.
So.
And you're really, really smart.
Yeah.
Everybody likes you.
So
let's talk to you.
Let's talk about this. So if let's say you're staying on track to not being shy, and your goal is to not be shy, and you're on this track, what is something that will distract you from that and get you
not doing it a lot?
Sure. What else?
People telling you stuff, negative stuff.
Absolutely. That's definitely a distraction.
And people
That's
just
definitely something
giving
that'll
you negative. People are like, you're already good at it. Why do you even want to do it now? Just do.
Ooh, I'm glad you said that, because that's almost like a compliment, right? They're complimenting you, and they're like, You're already good. Don't
just
do
like
it.
Drawing.
Yeah.
I'm really, really good at drawing. You're really, really good at drawing. And sometimes you even mess up. You even say it.
Yeah. I mess up at everything that I'm good at.
Everybody is. So say somebody, like my friend, a couple of my friends say, but you're already good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm complimenting you, but why do you need to get better?
Yeah.
You could just do a 1 minute video on your phone.
Yeah.
But even if that gets me somewhere, it's not going to get me as much as speak publicly.
Right.
And I would tell them straight up. I would go like, this is going to get me better. I'm going to get better at it. And then they're going to keep making excuses because they think I'm scared. And they're going to tell you, how are you not scared? And I'm like, I'm going to put you up stage with me. I would be like, I'm going to put you upstage, and I'm going to give you I'm not going to get you a topic, and you're just going to talk about nothing. You're going to talk about, I don't know what to talk about. And I'm going to make you talk about it and see how you feel when you're done.
That's fantastic.
And then after, they're like, okay, now this is fun. And then they're like, why did I even say that?
So yeah, staying on track and some things that'll derail you is like you gave some examples as people talking negative, people complimenting you will derail you. So take note of what she just said actually, because I don't know if you guys caught that. Not only are negative comments and haters and remarks like that are those distracting and something that'll derail you and get your focus off course, but a compliment can also do the same thing. I know people are like, what? A compliment's a compliment. It feels good. Yes, but you got to be careful with that because me personally, compliments can make you comfortable and satisfied, and you'll start feeling good about yourself a little too much, and so you're not going to take any action.
You're going to get derailed back to that. It's like a rope. It's like a chain. Now you're chained back onto it. You're just like, you're like, I'm going to stay onto it. I'm fine. But then a few years later, you're like, what am I doing? And then you're like, no, and I those people threw me off.
Yeah.
And now look at me. I'm not even successful.
So I'm glad
that can happen.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because I think a lot of people don't understand how dangerous a compliment can be if you're not careful. Like you got to understand how to handle a compliment. All right? A compliment's a compliment and nothing more. Do not let it get to your head. Do not let it derail you from what your goal is because it can easily happen. You start, like I said, you'll feel good about yourself. Like, yeah, I guess I am doing a good job, or I did do a good job, and yeah, I am pretty successful at that. Yeah, I guess I can. And then you'll start to talk yourself into relaxing a little bit.
Yep.
And you're not taking action.
And now you're on the chain. Now you're stuck on it.
And now you're not doing the things you're supposed to be doing because you're like,
just,
I'm already good enough.
It's like imagine yourself. Your arms are chained to the wall. You're like, it's just like that. It's like you're comforted by it.
Right.
Got a pillow.
So be aware of that. I'm glad you brought that up because it's definitely something that people need to understand, all right? Negativity and haters are one thing, and compliments are something else that can also derail you, so just be aware of that.
But if you're on the stage and they give you a compliment, that's different.
Right.
Because now you're like, well, I can't do that. Because if they give me a compliment, it's...
Ultimately, staying on track means being focused, and being focused means being just that. Be focused. Don't be so distracted by things. They're going to slow you down on this track and they're going to get you off course. So I by the way, I just love the topic. It was something that I needed to hear because I can get derailed. I get distracted all the time. And so I have to come up with ways to keep that momentum going. I get pulled so many different directions just in a day. And so I have to really allocate my time.
You got distracted by me.
I get distracted by you, yes.
By playing games, but it makes me happy.
Yeah.
And it gets you, you're like, well, I don't want to make her feel bad. Make her feel like... That's why you tell me on the card, I know it seems like I work too hard, but I'm doing it for your own good.
And this is true.
Now it makes it, now I'm like, okay, now I get it. And now I go like, well, I can't distract him as much, because now I know what he's been through.
Yeah, and I appreciate that.
You've been through a lot.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Not only that, I have...
You've almost... I know my friend, Riley, she's actually almost been she wouldn't be here to this day if somebody wouldn't have saved her, cause she could have been dead today.
Really?
Because she almost got into a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
Because her dad accidentally swerved.
Oh.
On accident, because somebody went in front of them, and he didn't know what to do.
Mm.
So he just did it and swerved.
Wow.
Because he can't think. Because he's like, I don't know what to do, because he wasn't coming at him. Because somebody just went.
Yeah, careful.
Mm-hmm.
His reactions were, well, those
Still
things
like
happen.
mine.
You got to be careful. You never know when something's going to happen. And I appreciate you acknowledging that. And so, I have a lot of things.
But sometimes the worst decision is actually the best.
Yeah.
Most times.
What may seem like a bad decision, or not. I guess there's a better way to explain that. What may seem like.
What I mean, like God is like, well, God doesn't think about it because he knows he might know the future, but he doesn't know what he's gonna do because he never plans it out. So he's like, oh, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna just risk my life and go. But luckily, there was a thing. I think there was a bumper. And luckily, he was able to swerve back onto the lane. Good
for him.
And he went
I'm glad they're safe and everybody's fine.
Yep.
And hopefully they learn some things about that too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, great discussion. So stay on track, my friends. Stay on track. Whatever your goals are for this year.
We're not even ready.
Here's one tip for you, by the way. One good way to stay on track is to write your goals down. Write them down.
Every morning and every night.
At least, if you can't do it once a day, at least do it once a week.
At least raise it.
Can't do it once a week, do it once a month. Definitely do it more than once or twice a year, though. It's definitely a hack to keeping your goals and the thing you want to stay on track for right in front of you. So, just a little tip for you. It's been a game changer. Let's see here. Yeah, so let's do that. We're good.
I know.
So,
Let's do.
Are you trying to distract me?
No, I'm not.
All right, we got some cupcakes to review, if I can say it right.
Cupcakes. Cup.
We got some vegan cupcakes. Just keep them on the plate, sweetie. Is there a reason why you can't?
Okay, so.
All right, so we got some vegan cupcakes.
Here, I want to try yours. You've already tried this on my birthday.
I don't remember it. It's a vanilla something. I don't know what you got there. Vanilla something.
I want a bite.
You can have a bite.
Just want to lick.
This is take a bite, not a lick. I'm eating it too, for crying out loud. That's chocolate caramel maybe?
It's good.
Yeah, it is good. Cinnamon caramel, there we go.
Thanks for the whipped cream.
That's all you eat, huh? You don't even like the cake.
I could try it. It's probably just the same as this.
Kind of, just has a little bit of cinnamon. You want to try it?
No, don't do it. Don't do it on the podcast.
Oh man, I almost got her. I was gonna shove her nose in the whipped cream.
Yeah, want a bite? Want a bite?
Yeah, I'll try yours.
I won't.
Here,
I'll hold it.
I'll hold your hand.
I'll hold it. Got ya.
Damn it. Okay. Truce. Okay, truce. I don't want to try yours now.
I think you are.
All right, let's eat this so we can get through the 10x roll. So, by the way, this is a local company.
I'm gonna eat mine when you read the book.
Okay, this is a local
company.
Okay, this is a local company called Mystical Cupcakes. I guess they were on that TV show, Cupcake Wars. So.
Cupcake Wars.
Really good. They make vegan baked
good.
goods.
Baked goods.
Yep.
Yep.
That's good.
That's good. I'm complimenting mine, not yours.
Does yours have stuff in the middle like mine?
Mm.
How do you know? You haven't got to it.
I'm about to get my nose wet. Like this. No.
This is good. It's got like a gob of cinnamon or something in the middle of it too.
Probably cinnamon or caramel. Probably caramel.
Yummy.
Yummy, yummy in my tummy. Our sprinkles are good.
Chocolate chips on top of this.
I know, I like
What a
the
nice
chocolate
touch.
chip. I took one when you didn't notice. I took one, that's it. You're lucky
You
I
did
didn't-
what?
You're lucky I didn't take all of them. Because they were good. They were delicious.
I am lucky.
I could have took all of them to myself.
Dude, this is good.
Will you hurry up?
I'm trying to. Without being a pig on a podcast.
You're already a pig, Dad.
I don't want to just shove it down my throat.
Like this? Like this? Like this?
I gotta be able to breathe between bites.
Oh, will you grab that?
Mm-hmm.
Could I take the last piece?
It's not a piece.
It's a piece! Oh, you mean... Oh.
Sorry. Sorry. That was way too good. Alright. Thanks for your patience, guys. Sorry.
This Mr. Pig over here, her
Super
daughter
good.
is very, very clean.
Super good.
Tidy.
Vegan cupcakes. I almost said vegan pancakes.
Oh, funny. Pancakes and cupcakes.
All right. I'm gonna get going. Do I have anything on my face?
No, but we already read this.
Okay. Well, I'll show you where I'm at.
We're on the same page.
Oh yeah, it's about Frank. We
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
we didn't read this.
We read this.
Right.
We shouldn't. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay. So we stopped. We're almost done with this book. We're over halfway, so it looks like there's a couple more stories.
There's only 62
Hmm.
pages, I think. It only goes to 60 something.
So keep in mind some words that you might hear in here that we can look up at the end.
Okay.
All right. We got discipline already. So we'll look that up. Any other ones, you just let me know, okay?
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna read about Frank's story. Okay. Last week, just so we know, we talked a lot about, surrounding yourself with people that want to, win. People who are successful, people who have a lot of drive. It's very important to pay attention, to surrounding yourself with people that are positive influences for you. So let's discuss Frank's story here, right? How Frank uses his resources to start his dream business. This sounds good already. Frank, a high school student, dreams of owning a pizza restaurant someday. He tries making his own pies at home following a video he found online, but it's not as easy as it looks. Frank knows he needs some hands-on help. Frank's favorite pizza shop is Giovanni's, so one day after school he asks if he can talk to Giovanni himself. Frank explains his goal, and Giovanni offers to show Frank how it's done. After a tour of the kitchen and a lesson on making crust, Frank is excited to take the next step and ask for a job. Giovanni hires Frank to work weekends at his shop. After a few months at Giovanni's, Frank is more amped up than ever. He's learned a lot about how to make a pizza, how to deal with customers, and how to run a small business. He even comes up with his own pizza flavor, and Giovanni likes it so much he adds it to the menu. But Frank is getting some pushback from his friends, particularly his best buddy Matt. Matt gives Frank a hard time about missing their weekend video game marathons. He tells Frank he's wasting his time and he's never going to be able to start his own business. Frank decides to hang out with Matt less often instead spending time with his coworkers at Giovanni's and other people who support his goals. They share ideas, help one another, and encourage each other to help him keep going when things get tough. It takes a few years and a lot of hard work, but Frank finally opens up his own pizza shop in the next town. Frank succeeds in reaching his goals because he finds a great mentor in Giovanni, and he creates a network of people who also have big dreams and want to work toward them. Frank uses his resources, time, community, energy, and ideas to build big. All right, that's fantastic. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that story? Huh?
Didn't really get a word out of that.
You didn't get a word? You didn't understand that?
Well, I got, like, this one. Like how he spends less time with his friend Matt. Because Matt gave him a hard time, even though he knows that that's his best friend. It's hard to do that.
That is hard. Do you think you made the right decision? Why?
Because what he said, he wouldn't be there right now if he didn't do that.
That's right. So it's funny that he said that because we were just talking about staying on track and distractions and derailment. We're talking about negative people. And that's exactly what Matt was doing. Matt was distracting him, just like the Cupcakes distracting you right now. There's distractions all over the place. And
Tell me about it.
And I am telling you about it. And so, his friend Matt, unfortunately, was just a distraction. He didn't realize that Matt was on a path. He had a goal he set for himself, and there were some things he needed to do to get to that goal. And that was network with another person, learn some skills. And, that's hard work. And so he had to give up something. And that was giving up some video game time, it sounds like, and giving up some time with Matt. That doesn't mean anything bad. Doesn't mean he doesn't like Matt. That doesn't mean...
He could probably hang out in school.
Sure. And I'm sure they can figure something else out later. But
maybe every
at that point in his life...
Wait, does he work on weekends?
Yeah, he did work on weekends.
Oh, never mind. I was going to say he could play with them on weekends.
Yeah, I really like this story because it does talk about how... the thing I liked about this is that he used his resources, which is the whole point of this story. He seeked out somebody who's doing what he wants to do. Kind of like I did with Grant. Like, Grant is doing what I want to do. I found a mentor. He found a mentor who is Giovanni. A mentor, you know what a mentor is? Somebody that follows you around. No, a mentor.
Somebody that helps you?
Yes, someone that helps you a lot. Very specifically, a mentor. We'll look that word up too. But basically, a mentor is someone who helps you, shows you, and guides you.
Like how that person that will go 4 to 6? Like he shows you what you can do?
I'm not sure what you mean by that. But I think you're probably right, yeah. Basically just shows you how to do the right thing. What to do, how to do it, when to do it. Someone you're supposed to be paying attention to. All right? So he did that. He found himself a mentor. He figured out how to do the things the right way. Figured out the things properly to do it in a business. And he wanted to start a business, and he did. And that's fantastic. Grandma said hi, Peanut.
Oh. Will you...
Oh?
Will you say hi?
You can say hi. She's watching you right now.
Oh, hi.
You're so funny. All right, so let's talk about this a little bit more. So, yeah, that definition of mentor is actually in here. So let's talk about what network means and what mentor means. So network. Your network is all the people you know and all of the people they know too. The earliest definition of network referred to an actual net or arrangement of cords or threads connected together in a pattern. Think about all the people you're connected to. A mentor. A mentor is someone who provides guidance and advice to a younger or less experienced person. The words come from a name of an advisor in the classical work The Odyssey by Homer, written in Greek about 3,000 years ago. So I think I explained it pretty decent, right? Someone who provides guidance and advice and someone younger or less experienced.
That doesn't taste like anything.
What? The tea?
It's like you put no sugar on it. Tastes plain.
You actually have plenty of sugar in there. You got the same amount as me.
Try it.
I'm not focused on that. You're trying to distract me and derail me.
I'm trying.
I'm okay. I believe you. All right, so the next story. We're going to talk about how Ryan uses his network to reach his goal. All right, so pay attention. I'm going to ask you more questions and what you got out of this, okay? Ryan's English teacher tells the class about a special summer program for students at a New York university. If Ryan gets in, he'll spend the summer on a college campus studying his favorite writers. Here's the challenge. Ryan has never applied for something like this, and he doesn't know anyone else who has either. He has no idea what to do, so he decides to reach out to his network for help. He starts with his English teacher, Mrs. Phillips. She says a student at the school across town took part in a program for a few years. She volunteers to contact a teacher at the school to find out more. Mrs. Phillips emails the other teacher who gets Ryan the contact information for the other student, or the older student. Ryan reaches out to the other student, Amaya, to ask about the program. Not only does Amaya give Ryan some great tips, she also is now enrolled in college at NYU. She reaches out to the professor on the selection committee for the program and puts in a good word for Ryan. A few months later, Ryan is thrilled to find out that he's been accepted into the summer program. His network has come to the rescue and helped him reach his goal. And now he also has his new friend Amaya to support him when he arrives on campus.
I like that. What I got out of that is I like that he found a friend. He asked for help to find a friend that would help him.
Yeah, that was kind of. That's like
I mean, most people don't want to do that because they're afraid of what people are going to say about them. Like me sometimes.
Yeah. Some people have a hard time asking for help for sure. The nice thing about what he did was he asked his teacher, Mrs. Phillips, for some help, and Mrs. Phillips said, "I know a person that can help you." And
even
that
though
was
she could have said, "Well, I don't know, but maybe you could go ask somebody else without telling their name."
right. And
she
so
could have said that.
She, even though she couldn't help, she did help.
She told somebody. She told him who could help her, and then she could tell him where she is.
And that's a good example of how
I like how he found someone, and now he has a new friend that can help him.
Well, and she helped him a lot. She put in a good word for him, and not only did she get him into the campus or the summer program, she's there to help him when he gets there. She's like, "Hey, I'll be your friend. I'll be your partner here. I'll guide you. I'll show you the ropes if you need anything." She's like, seems like that type of friend. You know what I mean? And so that was all just by him reaching out to somebody, like saying, "Hey, do you know a person? Hey, can you help me? Hey, what, is there any way you can think of is there any way that you can help me?" Basically is all he was asking. Mm-hmm. And all that takes is asking people sometimes. And that's a great example of how that worked out for him.
When was this made?
Very recently.
Oh, I was wondering because there's people in the thing.
I don't think it shows
wearing masks. So
yeah, it was recently, yeah.
I'm like, what is going on?
It doesn't show the year. It was definitely within the last year.
It was last year.
Yeah. All right.
You should show where it is.
So check this out. See, these are some of the what would you call this? In-book work assignments, yes, to do in the book. We're not going to do it, obviously, on the stream. But I will still read the questions of things the assignments to do. So it gives you an idea of, like, how impactful the book is for kids. So here we go. Build big. Make a list of 5 people you'll interact with in the next week. Think about your teachers, your friends of friends, your family members, your neighbor, and your softball coach, whoever. Write them down. Next, commit to asking each one to introduce you to an interesting person you might like to get to know. List those names and an interesting fact about them here. Now you have 5 new people to add to your network.
What's network?
Let's go back. Network is all the people you know and all the people they know too. The earliest definition of the network referred to an actual net or arrangement of cords or threads connected together in a pattern. But basically, it's all the people you know and all the people that they know.
That can help you.
Yeah.
a network was a building.
No.
It is a building.
That's
It's people with people in it.
It could, yeah, it's a form of a network.
It's just about one whole thing.
Sure.
Say it was about crackers. All those floors are about crackers and other things.
Yeah. It's a type of network, yeah. But that was the definition of a network, though. All right, so one of the best ways to get to know people is to show real interest in them. Everyone loves to talk about themselves. Make a list of a few questions you can use to open up conversation with other people. I've gotten you started with the first two. For example, has anyone given you a piece of good advice? What was it? What's the best movie you've ever seen? Why? So those are examples of like questions you can ask somebody. Because like he said, people do kind of get caught up talking about themselves a little too much. And it's good to show interest.
I'll probably ask that to one of my friends.
Yeah?
What is the best movie you've ever seen and why?
That's a great question. All right. This is cool. Want to know one word that is sure to make you make a conversation better? Scientists have shown that a person's brain responds positively when they hear their own name. So when you meet someone new, learn their name and use it.
What does it mean by use it?
So here, I'll give you an example. If I was asking you a question. So Mahlia, what's the best movie you've ever watched and why?
Hilda, because I like her positive mindset, and I like that she found a deer fox and the deer fox helped her. And I like the mom's positive positive and setting an example, and then they have to go, and there's a lot of nice people in that book.
Nice.
I mean, I said a lot.
You did say a lot, but that was an example. I used your name in the question. All right. Let's get back into this. So,
oh, wow.
I'm on page 50.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, live big. Nothing is impossible. Everyone who is a success started somewhere. And I think you did a post on this yesterday.
I think I just did today.
Was it today?
Everything is possible. And
that was today.
And here.
That was today.
Here. Like Mr. Miyagi, everything is possible. And here.
Like Mr. Miyagi said. You hear that, guys? That's awesome. All right, so here's something I want you to know. There is no limit to success. I love that message. You can personally be as successful as you want. What's more, there is no limit on the amount of success that can be created in the world. In other words, my success doesn't take away from your ability to be successful. There is enough to go around. The other cool thing is that my success won't look like yours. If you can't tell, I like big. To me, that means big houses, big planes, big businesses. You, on the other hand, might have your heart set on a different kind of big, making your mark in the arts or in sports, or by helping those who are less advantaged, or all of these areas and more. The greater your influence, the greater your impact, no matter what you're trying to achieve. You get to decide where you're headed. The key is to just start right now, right where you are. Success comes by impacting those around us with what I call your power base. Your first customers, fans, followers, and supporters are around you right now. Start where you are and expand from there, amplifying your efforts and growing your audience. Everyone from the most successful business person to the most well-known personality on social media started from zero. You can't get 100 followers until you get 10 followers. You can't make $1 million until you make $1. You can't hit 100 home runs until you hit the first one. Growth happens a step at a time, and there's no better time or place to start than right now, right here. It's time. Yeah. It's time to put it all together and live big.
There is no limit on success. I like that message.
There is no limit to success. Absolutely. I like that message too, because a lot of people think that
there's a limit to everything. But most things there is, but not everything.
Yeah, people think there's a shortage of a lot of things. It's called the scarcity mindset. And so people think that there's
when something's scared, they're gonna say, "Well, that's a limit."
We're gonna write. I'm gonna show you what scarcity means.
When we had this, I was just gonna ask you.
And then I'll talk to you about the opposite of scarcity, which is abundance.
This, I was gonna write down.
What is it?
My best friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was gonna write that down while you were reading it. Next.
These are assignments, absolutely, that you could do. This is what one of these books is yours for you to do it. Well, not on the podcast, yeah.
No, I was gonna do it right now. When you were reading, I was gonna do it.
Me and you will do this.
We're almost
We'll
done.
read this book again by ourselves, okay? We're just reviewing it on the podcast for now. So here's some words that he looked up for us. Amplify. To amplify something means to blow it up, make it loud, and help it to grow. Influence. To influence someone is to have an effect on them, usually because of a relationship you have with them. The word comes from the Latin words meaning to flow into. You influence someone to the degree your character, leadership, knowledge, ideas, or actions are flowing into them. Who has influenced you in your life? Impact is a strong effect on someone. The original meaning of impact in Latin was to drive into. An impact can be positive or negative. What kind of impact are you having on those around you? Power base. Your power base is your current and past connections. This includes friends, family, neighbors, teachers, coaches, and anyone you know or were once in contact with. They will often be the first ones to support you because they already know you.
That's true.
Yeah, that is true. All right, looks like let's get into this next story here. Okay, we are going to talk about how Martina expands her success a step at a time. All right, so Martina has always loved to sing. She has a beautiful voice and wants to be a professional singer someday, but her dream of being a star seems impossible. And for now, she just sings for her friends and family. Her friends know Martina has something special, and they encourage her to sign up to perform at an upcoming church fundraiser. Martina takes the challenge and wows the crowd. A local restaurant owner hears her sing at the fundraiser and asks her to perform at his restaurant. It's not long before people are hiring her to sing at their weddings and parties. A talent agent hears Martina sing at his nephew's bar mitzvah and is blown away by her voice. He talks to her and her mother about representing Martina. Martina's calendar fills with performances at local shows and concerts, and she works hard at improving her skill and adding new songs to her performance. She gets the opportunity to record a single, and she releases it on Spotify. It hits the charts, and Martina is the talk of the town and signs a major record deal. To everyone else, Martina's success seemed to come overnight, but Martina knows it's been a long journey full of ups and downs, hard work, and discipline. She started small and built her platform step by step. Now she knows that nothing is impossible. So, awesome. Do you want to talk about this first?
Discipline was in there when we were going to look that up.
Yeah, discipline's in here.
I thought that I didn't know that was the way you spelled impossible because it didn't look like it. So I'm like, well, no, you spelled that word wrong. And then when I look at it, I'm like, oh.
So what are your thoughts on that story?
I liked it. I like how it felt impossible to her because that does happen, but then it always comes up being bigger once you do it, and now you're like, oh, I didn't know it was right there.
Yeah. And I like it. Yeah, that's good. I liked it because she put herself out there. She started taking some chances. She was singing at that guy's nephew's bar mitzvah, which is a party. And in order to get
she was like Billie Eilish age.
Billie Eilish? Yeah, I don't know. She doesn't say her age. I mean, she was performing at a church fundraiser, at a local restaurant. She was just getting out into the getting known. She was just putting herself out there and she was doing something that she loved. And so and as a result of that, someone seen her. And when it comes to
they heard her.
Right. And when it comes to the music industry, that's kind of how that goes, is there's usually someone there that knows how to get you to leverage your talent. You know, like, oh, wow, you're actually good. I know some people that can really help you.
There's like always, when you do something, like sing, there's always someone that you know in there. There's at least one person that you know, and they're like, now I want you to sing for me. And you want to sing at like your parties and your birthday parties and stuff.
Right, right. So let's talk about, and she ended up getting on Spotify. She got good reception from the people, from the local community, people online. She put herself out there and she took action. So that's why she's in the position she was in, and she.
Are these true stories?
They could be. I'm not sure. I'm sure. After me hearing all these stories, someone has done this. Yes, these are definitely things that have happened at one point to somebody, for sure. All right. Ooh, here we go. A few thoughts on social media. I love this. So first thing you need to know is that social media is a tool. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, and any other platforms that may pop up in the future are all just tools to help you achieve your goals by widening your network and increasing your influence. Use social media the next time you want to 10x your influence around something you care about. That's a great way to get the word out to a lot of people fast. So because it's a tool, you need to be very careful how you use it. I've seen high school athletes lose their college scholarships because they acted like idiots and posted proof of their bad behavior for everyone in the world to see. Unfortunately, even one dumb move can have negative results. Once it's online, it will be there forever, even if you think you can delete it later. That's why you want to make sure that the way you act and the words and the images you post online support your goals. Someday schools, clients, and employers, or even the person you want to date, will check out your online profile. All right, so someday schools, clients, and employers, or even the person you want to date will check out.
Even if you can, that is true, you can delete it. But the people that saw it, they can tell that to other people online.
Yep. Is it an accurate representation of you and what's important to you? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Okay. Let me see how much is left in this, and
just a couple more pages.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm going to read. We'll read this story. We'll reflect on this, Sarah's story.
Okay.
And then that's probably all we're going to have time for.
Because then the next time, there'll be this much pages. And that will be about as much as we need.
Right, right.
We'll end up probably like...
Actually, you know what?
15.
We don't have time to read that because...
It's already 8:13.
Yeah, and we have...
We picked that up. You never picked that up.
Yeah. And we have these words to look up really quick, so I'm going to do that for you.
And you and me are going to try to finish at least half of that. Mr. Miyagi book. Mr. Miyagi book.
We'll see. It's getting pretty late, sweetie.
I at least want to watch a couple of them.
Okay, so we got discipline, scarcity, and abundance.
Here, let's do A first.
We already looked up mentor, or Grant looked it up for us.
Here, let's do this one, because it's A first. It's first.
So these need to be, these are going to be in order, actually, because I talked about this first. Let's do discipline.
Because you,
It'll make more sense. Trust me.
I don't like the cookie.
Okay. Discipline. is training, method of government, punishment, correction, to train up well. Okay. That's what that means.
That's right.
Well, it could be training,
Yeah.
like I said, and it could be punishment too.
Punishment, yeah.
Punishment is training when you think about it.
Yeah, it's training your brain to not do that again.
Exactly.
To not do it as bad.
Exactly. But discipline is is one of the biggest skills to accomplishing things big. Like, in order to accomplish your goals, it takes discipline. Like, you have to make sure that you're training yourself to do things that you may not want to do.
Like,
most times, that's what discipline comes up.
Giving up time is most of them if you're in school.
Giving up time is a discipline. Absolutely. It's a sacrifice.
Yeah, like what did she say?
Can you read it?
I can't see it.
Can't read that?
Good night.
She said, good night. Grandma needs to get to bed. She has an early wake up.
Oh, yeah, 'cause she has to get Grandma. But what'd she do at the end? She gave another one.
I don't know. That was an accident. Typo.
Oh, maybe she butt dialed with my butt. It's funny how people say that and they make a joke out of it. I butt dialed you with my butt. Like in Baby Boss.
Yep. I want you to understand this. Okay. Scarcity. State or condition of being scarce. Deficiency. Scarce. Not plentiful. Uncommon. Deficient. So scarce means when...
Could I look up the other next one where you
Yeah.
talk about it?
Yeah, so scarcity means when there's not a lot of something. That's what not plentiful means. All right?
Okay.
Do you understand that? And a
Right.
lot of people think that there's a scarcity of a lot of things. There's a scarcity of money. There's a scarcity of good people. There's a scarcity of good workers. There's a scarcity of so on and so forth. There's a scarcity of millionaires. There's a scarcity of whatever. And that's just simply not the case. That's just something that the people that believe that is something that we've been taught. Like, the reason why I had a scarcity mindset was because I was taught that by my parents and by the people that were in my life.
I thought it meant scared. Like you're scared.
No.
Oh, that's scared. That's not.
That's scared.
That's scared. Scares.
That's scary.
That's scary. Not scarce.
Yeah.
I can't find it.
There.
I'm on A-B. I mean, it's A-B words.
What's the next letter? It's got to be in order.
It's A. This is A-D. A-B-A.
No, ABA. ABU.
That's an egg.
That's a U.
That's an N then. That looks like an N.
ABUN.
A-B-U-N. D-A-N-T?
That's abundant. Yep.
Okay. It's one of this. It's the sixth one.
How about I read it?
Okay.
Abundant means plentiful, ample, plentiness, copious, wealth. It's the opposite of scarce.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a scarcity of things. I mean, obviously there's some things that there's very, very little, but not a lot. Not what people think there is. Like, people think that, oh, well, there's not a lot of money, so we got to be tight with it. We got to save every penny. There's an abundance of money out there. You just got to go get it and figure out how to get it.
The only thing that you should save is probably pennies.
Yeah. As you noticed, I don't save change. I haven't done that for a couple years.
If you get it, you'll put it in yours, because that's mine now. Remember, you gave it to me, so you're just keeping it in your thing.
Yeah.
In your just wardrobe.
So there you have it.
The end. The end of.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Imagine if we're doing this. Imagine if we're smiling like Mr. Miyagi, and it said the end of Dynamic Do a Podcast, and it typed, and then we typed it in, be dynamic, and then they're like, well, that was a bad ending. That would be like a bad ending.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching the episode. Whether you're watching the live stream now or you watch it later, we appreciate it. We'll finish up the 10X Kids book next week, and then we'll move on to the next book and next topic to review. All right. Why don't you tell them where they can find us one more time?
Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. Oh, I did it in order. Boom.
There you go. So give us a share, give us a like, a follow, subscribe.
Next Sunday at 7 p.m.
We'll see you next Sunday at 7 p.m. That's what she's saying.
Because it's
So have you guys yourself a great week. Be positive. Think with possibilities. Think about all the things we talked about. Staying on track. Discipline. We talked about a lot today. Scarcity, abundance, mentorship, networking. I mean, there's a lot we went over. So just think about those things and utilize it in your week, all right? So we'll see you next Sunday. But until then, be dynamic. Take care.